Okay, today we're going to use our awesome knowledge of how to solve right angle triangles to solve some more complicated ones. So here, let's see. Ainsley and Kayla's apartments are exactly the same height. Ainsley measures the distance between the buildings as 51 meters. So there's our 51 meters right here. Okay. And observes that the angle of depression. So angle of depression means if you look horizontally and then go down, that's the angle we're talking about. So that's 64 degrees from the roof of our building down to the base of this one. And we want to figure out how tall is the building. So if I draw this as a nice, lovely right angle triangle, right, horizontal to vertical is 90 degrees. And now if I want to figure out my height, well, that's it right there. Nice little triangle here. And if this is 51 meters, this is also 51 meters. So I have a right angle triangle. Oh, perfect. Okay. So to solve, let's think about SOH CAH TOA. So which one am I going to choose? Oh boy. Well, if this is my angle, here's my adjacent. Here's my opposite. And long side is my hypotenuse. Okay, so let's see. I have a number for adjacent, so I'm going to put a little check under A. I am looking for my height, which is my opposite, so I'm going to put a little check under that. And the one that has two checks is the one I'm going to choose. So that means I'm going to be solving tan angle is opposite over adjacent. Pop in what we know. So tan 64 is opposite is my height. So that's like my X. That's what I'm looking for. My adjacent is my 51. Rearrange. So let's see. Instead of dividing, we need to multiply both sides by 51. So that means in my calculator, I am typing 51 times tan 64, and that should give me, let's see, 51 times tan 64 equals 104.6 meters. Therefore, the buildings are 104.6 meters tall. Okay, let's look at this one. So Elise's parents have a house with a triangular front lawn as shown. They want to cover the lawn with sod rather than plant grass seed. How much would it cost to put sod? If it costs, well, this is going to be important, $13.75 per square meter. So we have to cover it, which means we need to figure out what its area is. So let's remember that the area of a triangle is half times base times height. So my base is here, but it's not a right angle triangle. So our height, we have to put that in here. So remember, height is at 90 degrees to the bottom. So I've got two triangles to worry about here, two pieces, two right angle triangles. But if I use this right angle triangle over here, which has a hypotenuse of 13, I can figure out what my height is, and then I can get my area. Okay. So we need X, which is the height. Okay, so just to keep things simple, I'm just going to redraw my triangle over here with just the pieces that I want, so that way I don't get confused. And 13. So let's see. Let's solve here. What do we know? I know to solve right angle triangles, SOH CAH TOA is a big one. So let's see. This is my hypotenuse. Over here is my opposite. So opposites involved, hypotenuse is involved. So we want to use our sine function because it's the one that has both of the pieces that I know. Opposite over hypotenuse. So let's pop in what we know. 40 degrees. Opposite is X. Hypotenuse is 13. Rearrange. So we're going to times both sides by 13. So that's what we type in our calculator. 13 times sine of 40. So when you pop that in your calculator, you should get 8.356 meters. So that's the height of my triangle. So now that I know my height, can I solve for my area? I sure can. Area is half times base times height. So my base is 11 because that's the entire triangle, right? I could not use that in my right angle triangle, but I can use it for my whole triangle, times my height, which is my X, which was my 8.356. Pop that all in your calculator and you should get 45.95896 meters squared. So to get our cost, so remember our cost was 13.75. So that's our cost times our area. So it's 13.75 times 45.96. Throw that all in your calculator and you get a final cost of $631.92. So therefore, the sod will cost $631.92. So let's make sure you measure correctly. If this happens to you in real life, which it definitely can, measure correctly and calculate correctly. Okay, let's look at this one. So here I've got two triangles to consider. So I want to figure out the length of XY. So XY would go from X to Y. So I want to figure out that side from X to Y. So to do that, we got to figure out, what do we know? Let's see. I've got a small triangle here. That'll be a right angle triangle as well. And this angle inside is 22 degrees. Okay, and there's the length I definitely want to figure out. All right. How about this small triangle? So I like to draw things separate to keep the information separate. So there's a 20 degrees, there's an 8.4. So these guys share something in common, right? Because they both have this side is the same in both of them. So looking at this, I'm kind of thinking, if we can use this triangle to solve for this side length, well, then that'll give me enough information to finish the question. So let's do it. So we're going to take the big triangle, sorry. So let's draw it out over here. That's 8.4. There's a 20 degrees. And let's solve for this side here. Oh, let's not call it X. Let's call it Y. Sure. Okay. So let's label. There's my angle. Here is my opposite. Here is my hypotenuse. So in SOH CAH TOA, what do I know? I know my opposites. I know my hypotenuses. Let's use sine. Sine angle is opposite over hypotenuse. Pop in what we know. Sine 20 equals y over 8.4. Rearrange by multiplying both sides by 8.4. Boy, that's an 8. Throw that in your calculator, and the thing you're looking for should be 8.4 times sine 20. So let's figure that out. 8.4 times sine 20, 2.87. So that means this length here, which is this length, which is this length, those are all 2.87. So now that I know that, I can certainly finish the question. So now I can use this small little triangle, and I have X is my hypotenuse. I have an angle up here of 22 degrees, and I have a side length over here of 2.87. So let's see, what do I know? I know this is my adjacent. There's my hypotenuse, so SOH CAH TOA. SOH CAH TOA. I have a number for adjacent. I am looking for hypotenuse. Let's use cos. Cos has 2 check marks. Adjacent over hypotenuse. Cosine 22 equals 2.87 divided by my hypotenuse, which is what I am looking for. Let's rearrange. So my favorite way to rearrange these is I put that over 1 and then I cross multiply. So that'll give me x equals 1 times 2.87 divided by cosine 22. Pop that in your calculator. So 2.87 divided by cosine 22 equals 3. I get 3.095. Okay, that rounds up to 1. Therefore, x, y is 3.1. Did I have any units on here anywhere? Centimeters. Centimeters.